Yes, good afternoon. So, as we have completed our theory syllabus, so we were revising the chapters, and I have mentioned that first we will revise, not revise, we will solve the exercise part, and then we will solve different questions from the different papers, sample papers, question answer we will solve. So I was discussing the chapter human reproduction. Okay, so I have discussed up to the question question 10. No, not only Payal, can you tell me up to which portion I have completed in my previous class, up to question 10 or question 14 from the chapter human reproduction? As I can remember, you were present on that class, so can you tell me? Okay, no reply. Okay, leave it. Then let me discuss from the question 11. Okay, I think I have completed up to the question 10. So today I will start to discuss from the question number 11. So first 11 number question from the chapter human reproduction is, what are the major functions of male accessory ducts and glands? What are the major functions of male accessory ducts and glands? Can you tell me what are the names of major accessory glands of male? Ten complete. Yes, I am starting to with question number 11. So my question was that what are the major accessory glands in case of male, and they have asked a question that what are the major functions of male accessory ducts and glands. So let me tell you, the male accessory glands include paired seminal vesicle. So what is the number of seminal vesicle? 2, and a prostate and paired bulbourethral glands. Okay, so the male accessory glands include paired seminal vesicles, a prostate and a paired glands. And what is the functions? Their secretion of these glands constitute the seminal plasma, which is rich in fructose, calcium and certain enzymes. The secretions of bulbourethral gland also helps in the lubrication of the penis. Okay, so this is the actual answer, that the name of the accessory glands and their function. Now come to the next question. Question number 12 is, what is oogenesis, and give a brief account on oogenesis. So already I have discussed about the spermatogenesis. So another term which is related to the female is considered as oogenesis. So can you tell me what is oogenesis? Okay, let me tell you. The process of formation of mature female gamete is called oogenesis. Okay, and which is markedly different from the spermatogenesis. I am repeating, what is oogenesis? The process of formation of a mature female gamete is called oogenesis. I am repeating, the process of formation of a mature female gamete is called oogenesis. Now they have asked another question with the definition of oogenesis, that is, give a brief account of oogenesis. So you have to mention the total process of oogenesis, that means from the oogonia primary oocytes will be formed, from the primary oocytes secondary oocytes will be formed, and from the secondary oocytes we will get the ovum. So from the oogonia at the time of formation of primary oocyte from oogonia, mitosis and differentiation will take place, and from primary oocyte to at the time of formation of secondary oocyte from primary oocyte, first meiotic division will be completed. Okay, and with that some polar bodies will be formed. So first polar body, second polar body will be formed in this process. Okay, so this detailed process is given in your book. You have to write down the process in detail, and you have to provide the schematic representation of oogenesis. Both are required. Okay, so I am repeating that you have to mention the different steps of oogenesis, like oogenesis is when oogenesis is initiated. That means you have to mention that it is initiated during embryonic development stage, when a couple of million gametes or mother cells or oogonia are formed within each fetal ovary, and no more oogonia are formed and added after birth. So this part is also important, that these will be formed in the fetus stage, no more oogonia will be added after birth, and these cells will start dividing and they will enter the prophase 1 of meiotic division, and they will get temporarily arrested at the stage called primary oocyte. Okay, so they will be arrested in this particular stage, which is considered as primary oocyte, and then primary oocyte gets surrounded by a layer of granulosa cells, and after that these cells will be considered as primary follicle, and a large number of these follicles degenerate during the phase from birth to puberty. So first focus you have to provide on the when these are formed, that means at the fetus stage, then you have to write down the arrested stage, and after that at the puberty what happens, you also have to mention that 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles are left in each ovary, and the primary follicles get surrounded by more layers of granulosa cells, and the new theca and are called secondary follicles. Okay, and the secondary follicle will soon transform into tertiary follicle, which is characterized by a fluid filled cavity called antrum, and after that you have to mention that secondary oocyte, that Graafian follicle, different layers, ovulation part. Okay, and at last you have to conclude with the how this ovum has been formed. Okay, ma'am, we have to explain the three phase this question is for oogenesis. These three phases, that is which one? That multiplication phase, growth phase, maturation phase. Yes. You have to mention all. Okay, you have to mention all. That means you have to write down from the beginning that when these are formed, when primary oocytes can be formed, when how these are can be arrested, like this. Okay, so come to the next question, that is draw a label diagram of a section through ovary. Draw a label diagram of a section through ovary. So for this, which diagram you have to draw? This diagram. Okay, you have to draw the figure 3.7. So there you will get the that means they have asked to show you the sectional view. Okay, so sectional view or diagrammatic section view of the ovary. Next one, draw a label diagram of a Graafian follicle. Draw a label diagram of a Graafian follicle. So for this, let me tell you which diagram will be appropriate. Label diagram of Graafian follicle. Okay, in the diagrammatic section view of the ovary, you will be able to find out the Graafian follicle. Okay, so that means when ovulation is taking place, before that a round shape structure is present, which is called as Graafian follicle. Okay, and you know that what are the different layers of Graafian follicle, what is the cavity of Graafian follicle. You will get this diagram in your practical book. I think it is provided in your practical book in a better way. So, okay, so you can check it from the practical book also. Just look, they have asked the draw label diagram of Graafian follicle, label diagram of Graafian follicle. So you have to label all the parts or all the stages that all the structures that can be found in the Graafian follicle. You have to label it. Clear? So try to draw it. If you want me, you can draw it in your home and you can show me. Okay, through the e-portal also, or in my next class also. Okay, then I will tell you is it correct or any other points you should mention like this. If any further information is required, I will mention you in your diagram. Clear? Next question. Next one you will tell me. Next question number 15. Name the functions of the following. So they have provided some terms and they have asked their function. So first one is corpus luteum, second one is endometrium, third one is acrosome, fourth one is sperm tail, and fifth one is fimbriae. So first who will tell me? Resmi. Resmi will tell me the function of corpus luteum. Payal will tell me the function of endometrium, and Orpita will tell me the function of acrosome. Tell me. Everyone, write down the functions of these three, and I have told that who will tell me the functions of each. Acrosome helps in the penetration of. Yes, very good, Orpita. And what about others, Payal and Resmi? It is the innermost layer of uterus responsible for nutrition and development of the fetus. Okay. Anything else you want to say? So first one is that corpus luteum. You know that what is corpus luteum? That the ovulation phase is followed by luteal phase, during which the remaining parts of the Graafian follicle transform as the corpus luteum. And what is the function of corpus luteum? So this corpus luteum secretes a large amounts of progesterone, which is essential for maintenance of the endometrium. Okay, and with that we will get another function, that function of endometrium. Endometrium is necessary for implantation of the fertilized ovum and other events of pregnancy. Okay, so you have to mention yes, very good, Payal. Now your answer is complete. Implantation of blastocyst takes place in endometrium. Very good. So we have completed two, corpus luteum and endometrium. Now come to the third one, that is acrosome. So you know that what is acrosome and where it is present and what is the function. That the anterior portion of the sperm is covered by a cap-like structure which is called as acrosome, and acrosome is filled with some enzymes, and these enzymes help in the fertilization of the ovum. That means you have written that helps in the penetration of the sperms into the ovum. Okay, very good. So these are the function of these three. Now come to the next one, sperm tail and fimbriae. Next two are sperm tail and fimbriae. So first tell me, what is the function of sperm tail? It's a very easy that you know what is the function of sperm tail. So a sperm is having three parts, head, mainly four parts, not three: head, neck, middle piece and tail. And a plasma membrane is covered is covering these layers, and the motility of the sperm is we get from the tail. Okay, so by this type of movement, yes, helps in the movement of the sperm. So as you know that sperms are having tail, so they are motile, as ovum are non-motile. So sperms will reach to the ovum, and after that fertilization will take place. Fusion of the sperm and ovum will take place. So for this movement, these sperm tails are helping in motility. Okay, so sperm's tail, this is the function of sperm tail. Now the last one, that is fimbriae. So what is the function of fimbriae? What is the function of fimbriae? Tell me. What is the function of fimbriae? Helps in the transfer of ovum through fallopian tube. It helps in the collection of eggs after ovulation. Very good. So what is fimbriae? You can remember the female reproductive system, ovary is present, and some in the end part of the oviduct or fallopian tube, some finger like projections are present. So some materials will be some eggs, when the maturation of egg will take place, that means ovulation will occur. After that, ovum or egg will be passed through the fallopian tube, and it will be cast up by the fimbriae. Okay, so it helps in the transfer of the ovum to the fallopian tube, or you can say it that it helps in the collection of the eggs after ovulation. Both are right. Okay, so we have completed the question number 15. Now come to the next true false. Okay, so I will tell you the question, you will write down T or F, that means true or false. So first one is, androgens are produced by Sertoli cells. True or false? Androgens are produced by Sertoli cells. Androgens are produced by Sertoli cells. True or false? False. Very good. So the answer is false. So androgens are not produced from Sertoli cells. So come to the next question. Very good, Leydig cell, but Orpita, you have written the spelling of Leydig cell wrong. Okay, just checking. It is Leydig. Now come to the next question. Spermatozoa get nutrition from Sertoli cell. Spermatozoa get nutrition from Sertoli cell. True or false? Spermatozoa get nutrition from Sertoli cell. So answer is true. Very good. Next question. Leydig cells are found in ovary. Leydig cells are found in ovary. True or false? Leydig cells are found in ovary. False. Very good. Leydig cells synthesize androgens. Leydig cells synthesize androgens. True or false? Leydig cells synthesize androgens. True. Very good. Next question. Oogenesis takes place in corpus luteum. Oogenesis takes place in corpus luteum. True or false? Oogenesis takes place in corpus luteum. False. False. Very good. Menstrual cycle ceases during pregnancy. Menstrual cycle ceases during pregnancy. True or false? Menstrual cycle ceases during pregnancy. True. Very good. Last question. Presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity or sexual experience. Presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity or sexual experience. True or false? I am repeating last time that presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity or sexual experience. So, you have said true. Very good. So, with that I am completing up to the question number 16. In my next class, I will complete the rest of the part. Okay? Clear everyone? Anything you want me to ask? And as this is January month, so I will suggest you to prepare for your pre-board exam. Okay, so in my next class I will discuss about this chapter. So read this chapter, else you will not be able to answer this. Okay. So thank you and bye bye everyone.